It's an LG. You've probably noticed that. Apparently it's dead. And the reason it's dead is very similar to the reason why I didn't upload any, I didn't do any repairs over the weekend. Oh, I did a Bose speaker, but I didn't do any TV repairs as such. Just going to level things up a little bit. You know what my OCD is like, because the big picture is a bit wonky. That will do. Oh, well, yes, just plugged that in and it went pop straight away. You may have heard it.
Have a listen again, because this is a big clue to my dilemma repairing this.
That will do. Oh, well, yes, just plugged that in and it went pop straight away. You may have heard it. So that sounds like the power factor correction circuit has gone. It may still come on. I'm surprised it went pop. I'm surprised it didn't take the fuse out. But yes, we've had some power cuts over the weekend. So I've not been ignoring you over the weekend. I did start to do some repairs and then the power went off, then it came back on. And when that happens, you know, when your PC shuts down for no particular reason, the video files do become corrupt and you lose them. And that happened twice, so I just gave up. And then Sunday we lost power for about 2 or 3 hours. So I decided to go down the pub instead. And this TV is well, I think it's a victim of a power surge, because you know it's like when the power all comes back on at once. But anyway, let's just have a look, see if we need to order a power board. It's a customer's job, so but we'll see if it can be repaired first. I'll also show you the model number. I think that's all the screws out. It is both a mixture of screws and clips on these. The best of both worlds. See a charred up resistor here. Right, so has that resistor got, well, the answer is yes, that resistor has gone. But has it been taken out by the cap next to it? Let's have a look.
Just look at how charred that resistor is. It looks toast, but actually it's not toast. It's absolutely fine. It's just residue from the cap that went pop.
Just going to see if there's any voltage in this cap. Apparently not. Okay, on closer inspection, the resistor is okay. It was covered in carbon because I didn't have my glasses on. I could see a little black shadow on this cap, but it's actually cracked and it's opened. What damage has it caused? Well, it hasn't taken out the fuse, as we could tell when we plugged it in. But it's unlikely just to be that capacitor, if I'm being honest.
And yes, there is something else that's gone, and this is where my brain fog stayed with me for most of this afternoon for some particular reason, so I'll let you try and guess. What else could be gone? It's none of the fuses on the power supply, so don't think it's anything like that.
A 221 at 1 kV.
And this again is all part of my brain fog today. That's the only way I can explain it. For some particular reason, down to brain fog and a good tidy up, I can't find my box of caps. I've got a box of blue caps and I can't find them anywhere, so I'm having to just hunt around a few spare boards that I've got, and luckily enough the second board that I find and is a 221. It's a 2 kV, but that doesn't matter. That just means that if it goes bang again, it'll be a bigger bang.
Should be easy enough to get out. It's just there. Stick a bit of leaded on it, bit of 4-star. Oh, apparently I've got to switch the soldering iron on. Okay. I have to charge the customer extra. It's a bit more difficult than it needs to be because, of course, it's covered in a little bit of silicone. There we go. Put it there. Don't lose it. I don't think this is connected to the power surge thing we had at the weekend. I really don't. I think it's just a capacitor that's just decided I've had enough. I'm out of here. I'm going to check these other resistors in a second. I'm very suspicious that it hasn't taken the fuse out. Right, that's the dead one. Just let me clean up a bit. We're going in there. Tell me when you see it. I'm going to put it in the same way around as it came out, but you don't have to with these. Anyway, you can probably see them poking through just there. Right, that's them poking through. Not terribly easy holding a board up while soldering with your other hand and the camera. But that's got it. And it's in. I did say I was going to take a reading just from the resistors next to it. I just want to see. No, they're okay. Okay, let's put it back in. Even though the cap had blown, quite obviously blown, it hadn't blown. I don't think it had turned into a short. Plug it in and see. Right, we'll be looking for, stay there, we're looking for a standby light round about here. I'll switch some lights off. I'm very well illuminated. Or there may be one big light, as in a big flash bang. Well, we didn't have a flash bang. But I don't see a red light. And the backlights aren't on, so I don't know. Do you know? Told you it's not just going to be the cap.
Well, it's never just a capacitor. Right, I'm going to speed this bit up a bit because I spend the next, well, not ages, but 15, 20 minutes checking things, double-checking things, triple-checking things, having a look what could possibly go wrong, checking for traces, checking for anything that's blown, checking for shorts, all the usual things you will do. And I don't find a thing. My electronics head is telling me that this is a working power supply now, but it just isn't. It is completely dead, even though when I just plugged in a second ago, I did hear a little click click. What was that noise again, Al? It was a little click click. Anyway, I heard something. This goes to prove I've got brain fog. Look what I'm doing here. This is an LG TV. I'm pretending it's a Samsung. Oh, you possibly can't see because I've just knocked the camera. And I'm disconnecting the main board from the power supply to see if the backlights come on. You can't do that with an LG. But again, brain fog for some particular reason. I'm just so head tired today is what I am, head tired. I've been out and collected a couple of units for repair, and I've done a few other things, and it's past my over 60s nap time. And that's the only problem, an over 60s nap time, because I now go and have a nap for 90 minutes, go and put a bit of supper on for tonight, ready for when I finish. And all of a sudden, once I've woken up after 90 minutes, it comes to me what the problem is. I suddenly realise what I've done. That's why I keep mentioning the word brain fog. It's obvious. I wonder if you've noticed as well. The clues were there, especially when it went pop twice.
It's amazing what having a rest does. Been a bit brain foggy all day today. Right, multimeter on AC. This is probably going to prove me wrong. AC, bink. Brain fog. I've just been having one of those tiring days today, and I figured out the problem just by having a rest. It suddenly came to me that when I tested the TV, and hopefully it picked up, or I said something. When I tested the TV, there was still another flash. Do you remember me saying, "Oh," or something? I said something. There was still another flash. That's why I said that capacitor has still got a bit of life left in it, even though it was got a hole in it.
And yes, I've obviously not woken up completely because I've not noticed the camera angle yet.
And it suddenly made me think, hang on a minute. If it's not taken out the fuse on the power supply, which it hadn't, it must have taken out the fuse in the plug that I plugged it in with. So I've replaced the capacitor, but then plugged it in with the same plug and fuse. And I have just tested the fuse in the plug and it's blown. It's just amazing how the brain will work. Wouldn't even let me think of that this afternoon. It's been a long day today. That doesn't mean I fixed it. It just means I know why it's not coming on this afternoon. I'm just going to do a check here for shorts, but I've checked everywhere for shorts. Check the bridge rectifier. There is a chance it's taken the driver out, of course, because that can happen. So let me get set up with another. I don't know what that camera's doing. You've got a reflection of the TV. Oh, the camera's fallen off. I just want to adjust the lighting. I think that gives the best lighting I possibly can for the TV. Right, this could still go pop, but I don't think so because, as I say, I've tested it for shorts. So switch on, does it go pop? Listen. No. Do we get a standby light? Oh! So when you're tired, the brain doesn't think of the obvious. But I've got a couple of hours rest this evening, and I just suddenly thought, you haven't tested the fuse in the plug. Now normally it takes out the fuse on the power supply. Normally it does. But this time it hasn't. The TV is fine. Nice picture. Right, let me put it back together. I've got to move on to another one. I spent far too long trying to diagnose. Well, I'll say far too long, probably 15 minutes, but, you know. If you've got to spend longer than half an hour on a power supply, then you just buy a new one. If it's not the basics. And I was looking at a new one. They're quite expensive, the power supplies for these. Quite expensive, really surprised. Don't know why. Need to rest. This is going to sound a bit dramatic now, but I think I'm slightly overdoing it. I should have taken a couple of days. I took the weekend off, but not off, you know, not just relaxing or droning or having a beer. I was still doing something. And I think I've got to take a couple of days off. And I've been seriously thinking about stopping working the weekends. Well, what's the point? If your brain is a bit of a fuzz, then you want to go slow. Take a couple of days off, you can possibly come back and repair more faster. If you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm sure you do. I'm going to put this TV back together now, and now move on to the next one. Congratulations to you, and a warm round of applause if you realised that I'd never tested the fuse in the plug. But it's not usually the fuse in the plug. It's always a fuse in the... Yeah, you said that, Al. We know. Thank you, people. I'll put this together, and I've got a Vestel backlight job to do tonight. Yes, life is that exciting. A backlight job for a Vestel. But it pays the bills.